you had this funny idea that you thought it'd be hilarious. What?
It's more just an exercise in absurdity, and then we just see what happens.
But I mean, it takes hours and hours and hours. You don't make any money, right?
Well,
When you put it that way, David.
Yeah,
We're doing this all the time.
thanks for showing me.
I quit. I'm out of the group.
Well,
I do it. It's for the love.
free trips to San Francisco, huh? Okay. So I have to ask you, I've watched all 9, and you should too, because as you can tell, you need to watch it like 4 times to get all the jokes that come fast. What is this? Online, you can see people debating whether it's Sade or Shorty or Shawty. What is it that you say in every single one? There's this lyric.
Shoddy. It's like in hip hop or pop saying baby in rock.
I knew that because I'm so hip.
we know that you knew that, David, but for everyone's benefit, let's go through the motions. It's a mispronunciation of the word shorty, which would be like for your girlfriend or something. So it's in all the hit songs, and so we use it to address, of course, our newscaster counterparts in the video.
Oh, I see.
You know?
So your target audience, those young, hip Gen Y people would know that.
Well, we think they do, but they usually just call us gaytards.
Now, you've been on YouTube, I see. One thing I thought would be fun is if we could actually show the masses how you do this stuff, because I mean some of that stuff is so clever. You know that you're taking advantage of the talking head format to put their forearms into the picture. He had Bob Schieffer holding this whiskey flask like this. Just way too funny. And so you gave me some clips of what's going on, and these are from that one we just saw, I think. Can we cut to the monitor?
This is one of perhaps our greatest visual achievements of all time, to create the green table that would then disappear and become part of the Fox News set.
If any of you all saw the movie Avatar, you maybe have heard of it. A lot of the same.
We were consultants.
A lot of the same process.
I think I'm going 3D.
Yeah, this is right up there with James Cameron's 3D.
I think we inspired him.
So this is in your apartment?
Mm-hmm.
And you're using what, just a camcorder?
Yeah. And for this one, we were using, I don't know, maybe a 7-year-old Canon DV camcorder.
That was actually the longest part of the process, was getting the camera to work.
Yeah, finding a firewire. That's right. Now that Steve Jobs has taken them away. And so here's another one. What's going on here?
Isn't it obvious?
These are the disembodied hands that become appropriated by the Fox News contributors. Of course, we wanted them all to participate in the poker game around the table, and so we wear the green sheet over our heads, of course, to wipe ourselves out of the video and only use the hands, arms, and props, and you'll see the end product.
So they weren't really holding cards?
We could tell that they wanted to hold them, and then we just give them the opportunity to do so.
So what's the whole process? So one of you spends all day in front of the TiVo taping CNN? What's the sequence?
So, because we don't want to watch that much news, we use the blogs as a filter and just read them to see the most ridiculous things that happen, or the most interesting things, and then we just rip them off YouTube.
But we also have our favorite sources. We certainly use the blogosphere as a filter. That's one method. But after doing a couple of these videos, and we kind of knew where we wanted to go with it, we get our favorite sources. We know that Katie Couric is going to be a killing unintentional singer. We know that Joe Biden is going to rip off some amazing ballot. So we look at their material first.
So what software do you use on the Mac to process?
Audio and Logic, video and Final Cut.
And does Logic have the auto-tune feature in it, or is that a plugin?
You can use that with any program. So that's a plugin.
Do you use the iPhone auto-tune app for this?
We do have that, but that's just an automatic feature. We use that in our everyday lives.
Not like this, your professional life.
Wait a minute.
That's an insult to professionals everywhere.
And so so does auto-tune just round off each syllable to the nearest half step of the scale, or can you actually write new notes for them and make melodic lines?
There's a little of both. Yeah, if you actually use the kind of automatic procedures, say if I'm singing a song but maybe not doing so well with it, it'll snap each note that I'm singing to the nearest, real theoretical note. But there is the ability to take a little bit of leeway with each note and maybe move it around if you want to have a more manual, hands-on approach.
Oh, I see. And so how viral have these gone? How many millions of views altogether? Have you ever tallied it up?
I think 35 to 40. Yeah, it's about 40 million views.
40 million views?
40 million views.
Dang, I gotta get busy. That's just nuts. Well, I want to ask you about a couple of these that I just looked at and I'm like, there's no way. Okay, so this is Chavez, the president of Venezuela. And you could not be auto-tuning him. He's really sick.
Because the time has come, it wants to be sustained, it has to be shared. The time has come. A better world to live in for future generations everywhere. Don't get sick, that's right, don't get sick. If you have don't get sick. If you have don't get sick. Don't get sick. It's
Okay. How do you make him sing like that?
He was already singing that album.
It's come to this. They can just take YouTube clips, post them as their own, and they're done. What was going on?
Well, at the UN, you always sing your speech. I don't know if you know.
That explains quite a bit.
Music is the universal
Okay, I'll ask it again. What was going on?
It's Chavez. Usually, when you're a dictator, you tend to get long-winded. Sometimes pull out the air guitar. You might have seen Gaddafi do that too.
In that particular speech, he always does something zany, but in that particular speech, he wrapped up his whole hour-long monologue by saying, "There is a song I want to tell you about. It's by this Cuban singer," and it goes like this. Thank you very much. Good night. That was how he finished his speech.
Right into it.
The I Smell Hope thing was from the middle of his speech, where he made a comparison to 3 or 4 years ago when he cracked on President Bush by saying, "It smells like sulfur in here," because he got up right after Bush had been up. So he was like riffing on himself when he got up this year, because Obama had just been up there, and he says it smells different. It smells like hope.
No!
Dictators of Latin American countries riffing on speeches they gave years ago.
Because I did notice at the end of that segment, the last line is Sarah going, "Did somebody hope in here?" All right, I have to ask you another question. So, in this one,
City of New York is declaring a war on geese. Some animal activists are crying, 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 crying foul, crying now, crying foul. Birds can become federal if they collide with airplanes. Operation Goose begun involves reducing the population within 5 miles of the airport. Those geese are cooked, those geese are cooked. Wildlife experts and the FAA concur. Those geese are cooked, the federal commission of being agreed. Those geese are cooked. Now they're living on a wing and a prayer, a wing and a prayer. How many geese? 2,000 geese. That's a lot of geese. Those geese are so sad and so the debate continues in New York, but for now, those geese are cooked.
When she said those geese are, I heard the F. Like usually she said, I heard those geese are cooked. And then one time when you bleeped her, she said those geese are, and I heard the F. Did she say something that started with F?
It's a good thing we bleeped her.
How did you make her say F?
We've got a lot of very young viewers on YouTube.